Hey guys, it's Mastermind2368 here. Ever since I got a Switch, I've been really obsessed with the idea of docking different devices. It's just really cool to have a device and be able to put it on the big screen. And so I've been looking for a phone dock for quite a while now, honestly. Sure, you can get one of those cheap adapters, but I wanted the whole docking experience, something where I can just let my phone hang out in for a long period of time and take it out whenever I'm done having it on the TV. Even though it took me quite a while, I think I finally found what I wanted with the Skull & Co. Jumpgate dock. This dock's only like 23 bucks. It'll let you dock your phone, plug in a USB-A device, and use it as a TV if you wanted to do that for whatever reason. So today, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of this. I'm going to be talking about just the general experience you get with your phone being docked on a TV, just in general, what that's like. And you can decide for yourself by the end of this video if you think this is something that you could use or not. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So as I mentioned, this is the Skull & Co. Jumpgate dock. Now there's two versions of it. There's the core version, around 23 bucks, 20 to 23 bucks, and that's what I have here. There's also a pro version. That's going to be around 40 to 43 bucks depending on where you get it from. Now, no matter which version you get, you're going to get this plastic shell out here, which is a pretty nice shell. USB-C spot to put it in. And one thing this also supports is switch docking. You can get a little nub here. Let me see. Right here. You can put that in and you'll be able to dock your Switch on here. Obviously, docking your Switch on a third-party dock is risky, but from my experience, which has been brief, using the official Nintendo power supply, it's worked fine with this dock, but proceed with that at your own risk. However, for using the phone, it also works pretty good. Now, as I mentioned, there's two versions, so the thing that makes them different is the insides. Over here, you can see the I/O shield, and you can actually access the whole internals by just taking it out. Put your thumb in here, you can take it out. So the base version has a USB-A 2.0 port, whereas the Pro version has 3 USB 3.0 ports. So if you need a lot of USB ports, that version's going to be better for you. I don't need that many, so I just went ahead and got this version. Both will have a HDMI 2.0 port that will support up to 4K at 60 frames per second and 100 watts maximum for power input. So overall, pretty good. I'm currently using like a 45 watt for power input just so my phone doesn't die and I can still dock it and have it on the TV, and that works fine for me. So as for the docking experience itself, let's talk about that next. Here I have my OnePlus 7 Pro. So this phone, I have the factor case on it, not very thick as you can see here, just a few millimeters. If I put that on here, I just give it a second, it will dock just fine. No problem at all. However, this phone is dead, not been using anymore. Been using the S20 FE. As you can see, this case is only a little bit bigger than the other one. I'm not sure how well you can see that. It's only a little bit bigger, and it will not properly dock. I know it looks like it does, but the USB-C port isn't going in enough. So if you want to use something that has even a slightly bigger case, you will have to take the case off to use it, which is a little bit unfortunate. It would be really cool to just take any, OtterBox phone and put it on and still have it dock, but take what you can get. So if you have a big case, probably don't want to get this if you don't want to take it off every time. For me, it's not that big of a deal breaker because this case is pretty easy to take on and off. Now that I've shown you what it's like to physically dock it, let's go ahead and hook it up to the TV and I'll talk about my experience with doing all that. Alright, I have the dock all plugged in over here, and here's my phone, so I'm just going to go ahead and plug it into the dock. And as you can see, now we have it on the big screen. So I'm going to be navigating it with this tiny mouse and keyboard I have here. Got it for real cheap online, and I find it works pretty good for little things like this. If you don't have this, you can use your phone as a touchpad to navigate. There's a menu to do that as long as you have a Samsung phone, but this is just what I'm going to be using. There are a few things I found I wanted to change before using Dex. Like for example, I found it's very good to go over into your settings, go to Samsung Dex, taskbar, You might want to turn auto hide taskbar on. I found it can work a bit better if you have auto hide taskbar on. And so once you've done that, you can exit out. If you want to connect a Bluetooth controller, you can. I'm going to connect my Bluetooth controller. And yeah, after just a few seconds, connected just fine. So now we can navigate it like it's a desktop pretty much. I'm going to go into the game launcher, just start up a game, and we'll see how it does. So I just went ahead and opened up Minecraft. And as you can see, natively recognizes the keybinds. It seems to all be working just fine. I'm in a creative mode here. Now obviously performance is going to depend on your phone. This is a bit of an older phone, so there's a little bit of lag spikes, but as far as controls go, it's all worked just as you'd expect. But best part is, because this is a Samsung phone, it supports Dex, meaning that it'll have the correct aspect ratio. One thing you have to be careful of that I just did, if you have an Xbox controller, do not hit the Xbox button, otherwise it will try to activate your phone screen over there. As you can see, it's now doing that because I hit the Xbox button. So make sure to not do that. While it works really great natively to use Samsung's Dex, if you have a more generic Android phone, you might have a few more problems. For example, with my OnePlus 7 Pro, when I tried that out, it worked, but I had to go through some weird hurdles. You have to download an app that'll change your screen size that's being outputted, and then it works fine, but some of the scaling is weird. And then I found that it sometimes doesn't always change back, and so you pretty much have to deal with an extra layer of jankiness. Now, if you've decided you want to do this, you have a good phone, you want to have that same quality on your TV, you can probably do it if you want to tinker enough. But if you have a Samsung phone that has Dex, or you have a phone that's something similar, it's going to be all that better of an experience. So just take that into account. In summary, I think this is a pretty cool little dock. It's just nice to have something where you can just dock your phone in and you don't have to use some chinky cable. So that way, you know, if I ever want to do something on my phone on the big screen, now I can. Additionally, the ability to use your Switch for it, that's the main reason why a lot of people buy this dock. And I don't blame you. Like, to have something this small for a normal Switch dock is pretty good. But to be able to go this small and be able to dock your Switch from this is really cool. Obviously, there's that extra risk with it, and I get it. I use a first-party dock when I'm not traveling, but it is definitely something worth considering. There are still the problems with, you know, it just being a little too small to not support my case. That is something that's a bit of a pain point. Or if you don't have a Samsung phone and your phone doesn't really like to be displayed out, it might be a bit janky. But if it's something you think you will like, it's something that you're willing to tinker around with, it is definitely worth considering. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful. Let me know if you have a dock like this, or if there's any other docks that I should be aware of that do a similar thing. Anyway, I hope that y'all have a really good day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.